The Spark, Episode 2. The burning of libraries' fire doesn't just burn buildings. It erases memory. Whole civilizations have gone up in smoke, not because of natural disasters, but because somebody decided knowledge was too dangerous to survive. From Alexandria to India to even the U.S. Capitol itself, we're going to torch through the history of library burnings and ask the big question: who benefits when wisdom turns to ash? The Great Library of Alexandria, ancient Egypt, a mega archive of scrolls, maps, tech, even supposed blueprints of machines that could change the world. Founded till the 3rd century BCE under Ptolemy II. Some claims 400,000, 700,000 scrolls. Scholars disagree, numbers may be exaggerated. Blame shifts. Julius Caesar's troops, 48 BCE. Emperor Aurelian's war, 3rd century. Theophilus's purge, 391 CE, or Muslim conquest, 642 CE. Basically, it's unclear, almost like no one wants us to know. It's less about who lit the match, more about why we keep repeating the story. Alexandria becomes myth, the symbol that human progress is always just one spark away from disappearing. Nalanda University, India. Now to India. 12th century. Nalanda wasn't just a library, it was basically the internet of the ancient world, a mega university that taught math, astronomy, medicine, philosophy, located in Bihar, India. Thrived till the 5th, 12th centuries. Up to 10,000 students. 2,000 professors. The library supposedly had millions of manuscripts. 1193 CE, invaded by Bakhtiyar Khilji. He torched it. Chronicles say the fire burned for months because of the sheer number of texts. India lost centuries of science, philosophy, and Buddhist knowledge, a reset button. When you destroy a library like Nalanda, you're not just burning books, you're breaking the spine of a civilization's memory. Library of Congress think it's just the ancient world. Think again. Even the United States lost its memory to fire. 1814, British troops burn Washington, D.C. during the War of 1812. The Capitol and Library of Congress were torched. Thousands of books gone. Jefferson later sells his personal library, 487 books, to rebuild it. Symbolism. America almost began with a blackout of knowledge. Question: did that loss also help reset the narrative for the young nation? New powers always rise after the ashes, from the pharaohs to emperors to empires. Every time knowledge burns, history gets rewritten. Alexandria erased. Nalanda silenced. Washington scorched. The torch keeps passing, not to preserve, but to destroy. But here's the real question. If so much of human history is burned, what knowledge never made it through the flames? And how much of our story has been rewritten by fire? Remember, every fire begins with a spark. See you next time.
The Spark, Episode 3. Bodies in the Fire. What's more terrifying than burning books? Burning people. Because books hold knowledge, but bodies hold memory, bloodlines, resistance, spirit. When fire takes flesh, it's not just knowledge erased. It's whole peoples, whole possibilities. The witch fires of Europe for centuries. Europe lit up the night sky with flames of its own people. Thousands, maybe millions, burned as witches, heretics, unfit souls. Were they midwives with knowledge of plants? rebels against authority, outsiders who didn't fit the mold. The official story says superstition. The deeper story is power using fire as a warning. Step out of line and we'll reduce you to ash. The fires of the New World crossed the ocean and the flames followed. Entire villages of indigenous peoples torched during colonization. People herded into missions or burned alive in their homes. Fire as a weapon of conquest, not just erasing memory, but eliminating witnesses. The books of the old world might have been lost in Alexandria, but the living libraries, the oral traditions, the people themselves burned in America's forests and plains. The Holocaust inferno in the 20th century, industrial fire reached its darkest form, the furnaces of the Holocaust. Factories of death, built to turn human beings into smoke and ash. It wasn't just an attempt at extermination, it was an attempt at erasure. Whole cultures, languages, ways of life consumed by engineered fire. See the pattern? Fire isn't random, it's chosen. Sometimes it's scrolls, sometimes it's villages, sometimes it's bodies. But the message is the same. The past will burn, so the future can be rewritten. So we've seen fire take books, and fire take bodies. But in the modern world, fire takes something even stranger. Entire cities. Firestorms, great blazes, resets disguised as accidents. That's episode 4, Cities in the Ashes.
The Spark, Episode 4, The Forgotten Frequency. What if I told you the universe is humming right now? Not metaphorically, literally. Scientists call it the cosmic background radiation. Ancient mystics, they called it the music of the spheres. Here's the kicker. Both science and spirituality agree on one thing. Reality has a frequency. Every atom, every planet, even you, buzzes with vibration. We can't always hear it, but we feel it. That gut instinct? That's frequency. That weird déjà vu? Frequency. The chills you get from a song? Frequency again. But here's the twist. If the universe is singing, why don't we teach kids to tune into it? Instead, we're raised deaf to the song of existence. Ancient temples, pyramids, even cathedrals were designed like giant tuning forks. They knew. The spark today is this. You're not just a passenger in this cosmic concerto and instrument. The question is, are you in tune or are you just background noise? Think on that. Tune in, literally. This is the spark of flash of fire for your mind, here on Wisdom Synergy. The Spark, Episode 5, Time Loops Memory Resets. Welcome back to The Spark, where ideas strike like lightning and burn holes straight through the illusion. We're talking about something that makes déjà vu feel like a glitchy VHS tape. Time loops and lost memory resets. Déjà vu, the loop effect. Ever had that eerie feeling you've lived this exact moment before? Not just a vibe, but a certainty? Science shrugs and says, brain misfire. But what if déjà vu is just your consciousness catching the echo of a time loop, a reset that already happened? Like you've played this level before but forgot the save file. Ancient cycles resets. Ancient texts from the Hindu yugas to the Mayan long count don't just talk about time as a line, but as a cycle. Civilizations rise, fall, reset, almost like we're in a cosmic washing machine. What if? Memory wipes are built into the reset button. You wake up thinking it's 2025, but your soul knows you've already been here again and again. Modern echoes of the reset. Why do we forget dreams the second we wake up? Why does trauma blur memory while repetition locks it in? Could it be we're designed to forget past loops, except for little sparks like déjà vu that bleed through the cracks. Maybe memory resets aren't flaws in the system. Maybe they are the system. The spark. So here's the spark. What if your life isn't just one straight shot, but a cycle you've been through before reset after reset, with each loop giving you another shot at breaking free? If déjà vu is the breadcrumb, are you ready to follow it out of the maze? This has been the Spark on Wisdom Synergy. Stay awake, stay aware, and remember, if today feels familiar, maybe it's because you've already lived it once before.
The Spark, Episode 6. Threads in the Loop. What if every reset wasn't random? What if the time loops, the erased memories, the lost histories were all woven into a design? Ancient myths whisper of cycles, golden ages rising, cataclysms wiping the slate, then mankind waking up like a dazed fighter after a knockout. But the strange part? We always seem to forget. Civilizations fall, and it's like somebody hits delete. Now, what if forgetting is part of the system? A safeguard, a lock, a leash. From Plato's Atlantis to the Mayan Bactuns, from déjà vu in your own mind to whole eras lost to fire and flood, the pattern repeats. But here's the kicker: what if someone, or something, remembers when we don't? Could the gods of myth just be survivors of the last reset? Could the glitches we feel déjà vu, Mandela effects, the nagging sense you've been here before be echoes from the loop? Episode 6 is where the sparks connect. The resets, the loops, the erased memories, they might not be separate mysteries. They might be the same machine. And the more we notice the threads, the harder it gets to ignore the hands weaving them. This is the Spark. Episode 6, Threads in the Loop. Stay awake. Stay questioning.
The Spark, Episode 7, The Architects of the Reset. They say history repeats itself. But what if that repetition isn't natural? What if it's engineered? Behind the smoke of wars, disasters, and natural cycles, whispers point to something else: architects of the reset. The ones who decide when memory ends and when the new world begins. We see their fingerprints everywhere: burned libraries, sealed tunnels, monuments aligned to stars we've forgotten, and entire cities rebuilt after mysterious fires. Someone or something keeps hitting the reset button, scrubbing the slate, and rewriting the script. Were they ancient priesthoods guarding forbidden knowledge? Breakaway civilizations who vanished underground? Or a hidden elite who still walk among us, guiding humanity like actors on a stage, blind to the script? Think about it. Every cataclysm ends with a new order. Every empire falls, just as a strange new power rises. And the survivors? They're told, forget what came before. What if forgetting isn't an accident? What if memory itself is being managed? Tonight, we peer behind the curtain. We're not asking if resets happen, we're asking, who benefits from them? The ones who build the stage after the fire, the flood, or the collapse. Those are the architects. But here's the riddle. Are they guardians saving fragments of truth or tyrants, keeping us trapped in endless loops? That's the Spark for tonight. Stay tuned, because in Episode 8, we'll trace the tools they use to carry out these resets. Symbols, technology, and secrets hidden in plain sight.
Reset Files, Episode 8. The Black Ledger. They say history is written by the victors. But what if it's balanced like an accountant's book by the architects of the reset? Every age ends when the numbers no longer add up. What if plagues, fires, and wars weren't accidents of chaos but line items, checked off in a cosmic spreadsheet of control? The Black Ledger Theory. Resets are random. They're timed like a contract, based on cycles of population, knowledge saturation, and resource depletion. Evidence trails. Medieval plagues always wiping out just as printing presses, literacy, or new sciences emerge. Great fires cleansing cities right as architecture and technology tip over the old narrative. Wars kicking off suspiciously close to breakthroughs that would have destabilized the power pyramid. The whisper of an idea. What if somewhere hidden in vaults, monasteries, black archives there's an actual ledger, tallying human history like receipts? If every reset is an entry, then who's signing the bottom line? Episode 9. We'll follow the ink stains back to the hands holding the pen.
Reset Files Episode 9. Hands on the ledger exists. But who holds the pen? The architects we've been chasing are closer than you think. Some walk in daylight, others hide in shadows. Some might even live inside your mind. Every reset leaves fingerprints. Sometimes it's a secret society, draped in robes and codes. Sometimes it's a family line, centuries old, pulling strings from castles and bank vaults. Sometimes it's a force we don't fully understand, alien, AI, or something darker. Secret societies and dynasties, guardians of knowledge and power, surviving resets by remaining invisible. Technology and ritual, the tools of control, from sacred geometry to hidden machines, frequency grids, even mass media shaping collective memory. Glitches in our reality, déjà vu, Mandela effects, and suppressed histories hint at a system operating beyond human oversight. The ledger itself may not just be a metaphor, it could exist in hidden archives, encoded in symbols, math and tech we barely comprehend. Episode 10, we pull the curtain off entirely. You'll see the puzzle pieces we've been tracing. Resets, loops, hidden hands, and the ledger. The architects of the cycle will no longer be invisible, and you'll have to ask yourself, are you part of the system? Or fighting to break it? This is The Spark. Episode 9. Stay awake. The ledger is open and the pen is moving.
Reset Files Episode 10. The puzzle revealed, this is it. The culmination of the sparks, the loops, the erased memories, everything we've hinted at. The fires, the purges, the resets. They're not random. They're a design. And now you're about to see the full picture. The hidden hands span history. Dynasties, secret societies, and shadow organizations. Their tools: fire, flood, plague, war, technology, and manipulation of memory itself. Their goal: control the narrative, control civilization's timeline, control reality itself. The ledger isn't metaphorical, it's encoded in symbols, hidden tech, and collective memory. Every reset is an entry. Every loop is a correction. Time loops memory resets. Humanity isn't linear. We're cyclical. Civilizations rise, peak, collapse, then rise again, erased, forgotten, rewritten. Déjà vu, Mandela effects, dreams, and suppressed knowledge, they're echoes of the loops. They're breadcrumbs left for those paying attention. The reset isn't about chaos, it's about precision, about shaping the human story across millennia. The dark system, some resets are natural, others are engineered. The lines blur. Alien intelligences, AI overseers, demonic forces, or some combination may guide the cycles from outside or beyond comprehension. Humanity is both the player and the pawn. The fires and floods, the lost libraries and civilizations are the board. We're pieces, we're moves, we're lessons. Call to awareness, the big spark. You're alive in this moment. You're conscious. You see the pattern others ignore. That awareness is your weapon. The architects only succeed if we remain asleep, if memory fades, if cycles repeat unnoticed. To break the loop, to survive the next reset, start noticing, question everything, track the breadcrumbs, and pass the fire forward. This is The Spark, Episode 10, The Puzzle Revealed. Look around. Look deeper. History isn't what they told you. Reality isn't what it seems. And the game is far from over.